There we go. There we go. Second event of King of Leagues. I hope you guys are ready for this. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a great weekend with 60 drivers driving in the event, of course, in one full qualifying and 2 races, which are going to be there tomorrow. Today, the drivers are going to be deciding in which pool their team will be racing on tomorrow. We will be racing in a short qualifying and a 35% tomorrow. Pool 1 is at 8 p.m. in the evening. And pool 2 is going to be at 6:30 in the evening tomorrow. So pool 1, of course, is going to be the top 5 leagues, and pool 2 is going to be the bottom 5 leagues. So there's going to be 20 drivers tonight who are going to be driving against each other. The top 5 duos, of course, bring their team to pool 1, and the bottom 5 duos bring their team to pool 2. So how it works, I will explain that later on during the qualifying. But let's go straight to the introduction of what track we will be racing on. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro to the leagues. We've got 10 different leagues, of course. We've got Syndicate, we've got Speed Force Racing, who are 2 familiar names. Also, Racing League Esports is a pretty familiar name. And then from all the other guys who are in the chat, who I stream for, of course, Formula 1 Racing League and Power Grid Racing. Those guys are streamed for on Thursday and Wednesday. Then we've got Ion, Ground Racing, Inside Line, Formula Regional Series, and then we've got Overtake Racing League, who are all new teams who are going to be participating in a King of Leagues. Of course, Formula 1 Racing League and Power Grid Racing 2, but those I know pretty much already. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. As you can see, I put a little bit of a prediction of where everyone is going to be with the qualifying and the race, in my opinion, from what I know, from what I saw with the attendance and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's probably not going to come through. But yeah, I guess we will have to see. Today, we're going to be having the event in Qatar. So the race is going to be in Qatar. The qualifying is going to be in Qatar too, with a population of 2.7 million people. Now, the first Grand Prix ever held was in 2021, and the last winners of the event were Syndicate Racing. So are they going to be able to, of course, defend their championship? I really wonder, because we've got some pretty fast teams. The quality record is a 120.9 on this track. And then, of course, the race record is a 122.9, but that is going to be for tomorrow, of course. Track layout-wise, we've got a full qualifying today, and then, of course, tomorrow we've got short qualifying and 35% race. Start-finish straight is the only straight where you are going to have DRS. Now, coming into turn 1, which is going to be not a very hard braking zone. It's a little bit of a hairpin, U-turn kind of corner. As you can see, the starts of this race are usually a little bit chaotic. And then, of course, you've got turn 2 and turn 3, which are quite similar corners than the other ones. I'm just letting everyone go through. All right, Sticky, is everyone in? Yes, everyone is in. Sticky. Yeah, you can ready up. You can ready up. All right, so turn 5, turn 6, all pretty nasty corners. You know, Qatar is a little bit of a difficult track to master, of course. Now, Sector 2 is where it needs to happen during the race, but of course, we're not going to talk about the race today. We're going to be talking about the full quali. You can gain so much time in Sector 2 and Sector 3 if you take a lot of grip on the entries and the exits. So, I mean, it's going to be fucking great tonight. I'm expecting low 120s. Some guys even promised me that they were going to get a 119. So I'm not going to boost your guys' excitement too much. But a 119, guys, that would be esports level. So I really wonder if we were going to be able to see that. But of course, coming out of turn 16, which is going to be the last corner of the track, you need to have a lot of traction to be able to go a little bit faster down the main straights. Now, strategy-wise, we are not going to be talking about that. But of course, because of course, I mean, you know, we're not going to be having strategies, right? So, guys, my predictions of tonight. Apparently, there are no track limits. That is an issue. Are there, Stiggy? Can you have a quick look? Okay, perfect. There we go. So no lobby restart. No lobby restart, guys. Don't worry about it. So I'm not able to see the list yet with all the guys on the grid. So I guess I will have to wait right now. To see who is on the grid, of course. We've got drivers like Matthew Bassett, who is a really fast driver. I don't know if he's in the lobby, actually. I don't think so. Is he in the lobby? Let me have a quick look. We've got Timo, who is a familiar face from last week. We've got... Oh, Matthew is from in the race tomorrow for Ground Racing Effect. We've got Snipes and Blades, who are very promising. They're probably going to be low 20s. We've got Oliver Whittleston, who's going to be in the low 20s. He put a 120.6 in time trial. Niklas Zeller, he is a very good prospect here for Racing League Esports. He already drove a race on this track, which I commentated on. He was really fast. He's got a 120.2 in TT. Who else do I think is going to be performing pretty well? We might be having Unlucky Sesko of Syndicate Racing, who's going to be doing pretty good. But guys, it is time to start this qualifying. There we go. We're going straight into the lobby, and we will be racing, of course, in the qualifying. Now, I've got my good buddy Stiggy with me. Welcome, Stiggy. One second, Stiggy. One second. Talk again.
Hello. Can you
okay, yeah, guys, we've got Stiggy in the chat. There we go. OBS is sometimes not working. You know, it's a little bit of an issue. So. Yeah, Stiggy, what are your expectations? Because, guys, Stiggy is a driver from Power Grid Racing. He's going to be racing tomorrow, but today he will be joining me in the qualifying. What are your expectations for the teams and all, like the teams in general and Power Grid specifically?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I've obviously seen your predictions list. You know, for the qualifying. Really, it looks like the races tomorrow are going to be really close. Obviously, I'm supporting the Power Grid boys today. Obviously, my boy Hassan and where's the other guy gone? He's not in my list anywhere. Oh yeah, and some Speckberg in the Milan is the name. So you're hoping we'll be getting to the top half for tomorrow's race. But obviously, we'll see. You know, I've been in touch with both the guys to see how they're make sure we're matching setups and stuff for quali. But yeah, I thought I'd leave it in their capable hands and then take on for the race. So yeah, just looking on board now, looks like Kroon is the first guy to start his lap now. Definitely running quite low wings, I can judge by going to turn 1 at 200 miles an hour now. He's looking quite committed there, runs a little bit wide on the apex though, but keeping it well within the white lines. Through the first sector split now, he starts up to 170 miles an hour, going into the fast right-hander. This should be down a 5th gear corner, then straight back up into 6th. Should be flat out this second corner. He's had a minor lift, I guess qualifying 1. There's not as much grip on the circuit. Down to 3rd here on the exit. Lights the rear wheels up nicely there, coming into sector 2, and a medium speed right into a fast flick left. Just see how he tackles this one, leaving a lot of space ready for his next attack lap on the maybe in Q2, hopefully, from this guy. He's doing well so far, though. Coming now down into the second sector split. This next section should be absolutely flat out, regardless of what session you're in here. 53.9 over the first 2 splits. See how he does. It's a small lift, but pretty committed there. How much room is he going to use up? He's using all of the road straight away. Absolutely full commitment into the second to last corner here. Braking at 50 metres, 4th gear on the entry. Lights up the rear wheels once more, DRS wide open now. Let's see what he does. He's going to cross the line. It looks like it might be a high 20 or early 21. Let's have a look here. 21.3 for Kroon so far.
Yeah, absolutely a great
start
that's a great lap, a 121.3. I feel like, you know, there is some more time to grab, but of course, I mean, it's the first lap of the race. The track still needs to heat up. But looking back at your team, PGR,
yes,
it is. We can say you put the fastest drivers in the race, right?
I think that's. I mean, to be fair, we sort of had that judgment. Yeah, myself, Jack Tyler, and hopefully Ryan will join us as well for the race. Chicken and Blunt's also backing us up. So, fingers crossed, our race pace will be better. You know, I mean, quality and sort of time trial wise, myself and Jack are 20.4, 20.5 personal best. So I'm hoping that can correspond to race pace as well. But definitely seems like a decent start so far. I mean, Kroon 2/10 clear of everybody else so far, so we'd be happy with that first lap. I'm expecting, to be fair, the track will bed in quite nice at the end of Q1 into Q3, so I'm hoping some drivers will be hitting the mid to low 20s at the end of qualifying 3 here. I think if I sit at 19 on the qualifying board, I'm going to be a little bit stressed, to be honest.
Yeah, but
I
looking
might go and
at
check back on my own
121,
footage, see what my qualifying time was, to be fair, when I did it.
looking at 121s, I don't think we're going to get 119s. You need to be already in the 120s in order to get a 119 during Q3. I don't think there's a 1.4 second difference in Q1 compared to Q3. So, yeah, the guys really need to push a little bit more here in this qualifying to be able to hopefully get a 119 or a low 120 during Q3, of course. But looking at the teams right now, we have got Syndicate leading the drivers, the qualifying right now, with one driver being in P1. The other driver hasn't set a lap yet. We might want to drive on board with Unlucky Sesko, who's driving in the Syndicate racing car. It's a pink team. They have chosen themselves. Well, not really. I've given them that color, and they agree with it. So yeah, they are running the beautiful Barbie colors, and yeah, let's hope you're not going to be driving like Barbie, because that would be catastrophical here in the qualifying. But now entering sector 2 with the fastest first sector for the Syndicate Racing driver, as he's now coming through that little bit of a U-turn. It's a long U-turn to the right. You've got that little flick to the left, as Stiggy mentioned before. You need a lot of speed through this corner to be able to get a good exit on the speed. Then you've got one of the slowest corners on the track here, except for that turn 6 entering sector 2, of course. And then, of course, Stiggy mentioned it already, you need to have a lot of speed through these couple of corners, maybe even flat out, and hopefully a lot of curb on the exit. He's got a red car right in front of him, but he goes off track. Beautifully done, and that is a invalidation for Unlucky Sesko. He was on a fast lap, he was doing pretty good, but that is not going to be... Ooh.
I'm assuming here. I don't think he'd go again. He's more likely to do another cooldown lap. Yeah, he's going to do another cooldown lap to get that ERS back up. This is a heavy track on ERS in qualifying. Essentially, he's going to be using every single ounce of your allocation for the lap when you're on full hot lap mode. When I did this qualifying session in PGR, the last lap, I was turning off ERS for some of the corners, because you'd lose out. At the point you hit the final straight, you'd run out of battery for easily 2 or 3 seconds there, which makes a big difference at 170 miles an hour. Losing that sort of 150, 160 brake horsepower at that sort of speed, the car will just not accelerate fast enough, really. But again, though, I'm really impressed. Kroon still is the only guy in the 121 4s and 3s, for that matter. But it looked like Unlucky Sesko had a good start to his lap, but let's see what he does on these worn tyres. A little bit of brake boosting to get the ERS back up. Is anybody on a lap? Let's have a bit of a look round here.
Snipes this in sector 2 now. He's got the fastest first sector. The black car, all the way in P13.
Got him, P13. Yes, have a look here. Yeah, he's committed. Oh, I think it might be. Oh, he's kept it in the white lines just about here, but he's looking. This has been a good lap from what I've seen so far. Good use of all of the curb there. Just about keeps it in the white lines. This is a decent middle sector time. It's purple, flat out here from Snipes here in the 3 right-handers. Nicely done. Let's see what you're going to use here. How much curb is he going to use? He's done that one before. Nice amount of road there. Normally I'd be a downshift to 6th, but clearly he's probably keeping 7th. 5th gear on exit here. DRS wide open. You'll see the ERS will run out before he crosses the line, unless he's been preserving the battery. It just runs out 2 or 3 seconds, but he's at 1:21.1.
What a time. A 1:21.1, as that is going to be the pole for now.
Really quick.
That is going to be the pole for now. It's only Q1 though, so he's probably going to be way faster in Q2 and Q3.
So top 15 will make it into Q2 here. So currently we've got 14 drivers to have set a lap so far. People in the drive, so it looks like Harry, Unlucky Sesko, obviously we know was on a decent lap and had to lift off. Blade, Timo and Runnard, all guys to not set a lap here. Looks like Timo though is doing a lap. Let's have a look here. Yes, he is. Let's have a look in the middle sector now. Let's see what he does. Nice and committed coming through the fast right-hander. Nice on throttle, using all the road on the coming into the third sector split here. This was quite competitive with high 53 middle sector. 53.7 again, he's level with the 21.1. This is going to be close for the pole then. Will he keep it flat out in this corner? Yes, he will. 165 mile an hour exit speed. Downshift into 6th. Yes, he is. Using a bit more road. Nearly loses the rear. Coming in second to last corner here. Nice and late on the brakes. Chucks it in. Very committed actually there from Timo. Nice exit there. DRS wide open. He's got a little bit more ERS available though than Snipes. This could be a 21.1 again. 21.0. He's just jumped Snipes into P1 there. Very good lap from ERT Timo there.
Yeah, Timo, a very familiar face. He participated in the King of Leagues first season, where he actually ended up having a pretty good result in the race. The format in King of Leagues Season 1 was a little bit different from King of Leagues Season 2, as we only had 4 leagues back in the first season. Today we're going to be having 10, of course. But Timo was a driver, I think it was in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. We had 3 different races, so the guys were able to use 4 different drivers in 3 different races. And Timo actually was competing with the top of the drivers. I think he was battling with a couple of guys. He had a little bit of an incident there and kind of had his race ruined. So he's really up for redemption here in the King of Leagues event once again. And hopefully he's going to put himself in P1 to bring Speed Force Racing into the top 5 leagues and hopefully pooled 1.
Just in the meantime there, Pincho sets P3, 21.359, decent lap as well. Just a note for people who are unsure, every driver you see on the grid at the moment will not be taking part tomorrow. So it's different strategies in the different leagues here. We've got some teams sending out their faster guys to qualifying, and we've got some other teams like Pounded, for example, so keeping the top tier guys for the race. But let's go on board here with Specbal here, going to DRS wide open. He hasn't got much ERS available though. Let's have a look. So he was out lap on a 25.4. Let's see how he does into turn 1. Decent 5th gear on exit, using a nice amount of road there. Let's have a look. 5th gear again. He's just being a little bit cautious, but it's been a good start to the lap so far. Let's see how he does into the double right-hander. See how much curb he's prepared to use. Is he going to keep it flat out? Just a little bit of a lift, but it's a decent first sector there. Small improvement on his previous best, 27.0. Into the medium speed left and the fast right flick. Let's have a look how he attacks. He's keeping the car nice and tight and letting it run out on exit. Decent line. So it looks like he's getting his lines quite well. Just needs a little bit more commitment on the throttle. Down to 4th here on exit. Blades of Ice, 20.7 in the meantime. We've been watching the wrong guy. What a fantastic lap. 4 3/10 clear of any other driver. Let's carry on with Spec here then. He was going to do, he's going to keep it flat. Yes, he does keep it flat. Uses just all of the road available. That was nearly a track limits violation. Just about keeps it in, but he's got no ERS left at all. He hasn't been able to save up enough battery on his previous outlap, so he's going to be easily losing 2 or 3 tenths, if not more, down this back straight with absolutely no battery left in the tank of this F1 World car. Is going to be a 22.7, P17 so far as Timo is out. He's happy. He's ego retiring from P2. Does look like he's pretty safe though, admittedly. Is everybody else on a lap so far?
Yes,
Jensen's
sir.
on a lap.
Unlucky is on a lap 2. He's the only one who hasn't set a lap yet here in the qualifying. He was pretty fast.
Be decent. Yeah.
Pretty fast last lap. He unfortunately invalidated in sector 3, so hopefully he's going to be able to perform a little bit better here and try to keep it on.
A lot of cars in his way though.
Ooh, yeah, there was a green car, so he had to watch out. And now he's got that brown car of PGR. I call it the poopy car. The poopy mobile.
Poopy car, brilliant.
The poopy car.
Good job.
I think
Brilliant.
the guy right ahead is going to go to the side, so that's great. And then, of course, ahead we've got another poopy car, so he really needs to watch out there. Hopefully is not going to get hindered by that car. But unlucky Sesko, I feel like, you know, seeing his teammate being in P5, he cannot put himself somewhere below P15, because that would probably get them not in pool 5 in the top 5 of the leagues. Now coming around the last couple of corners, turn 15 that is, and take a lot of curb into turn 16, also on the entry and the exit, and that will give you a good run down the main straight. That is about inches away from invalidation. Now comes across the line, goes unlucky Sesko, puts a 121.5 to place himself in P6 right behind Krunex. And just to explain the situation and the format of the league, well, it's not really a league, it's an event, of course. It's going to be called King of Leagues. And the format basically is, you've got 10 leagues participating. We've got a full qualifying today, where the drivers have to put the best performance out they can. Because top 5 leagues will go to Pool 1 tomorrow, and the bottom 5 leagues will go to Pool 2 tomorrow. Of course, we've done this to have the leagues be in a pool which is their pace. You know, seeing drivers from the bottom of this qualifying could give you a little bit of an idea of who is the faster league and who is the slower league. Now, taking that in consideration, the top 5 leagues will get 10, well, the P1 in the whole qualifying will get 10 points. Then the second team will get 9 points, and then all the way to the 10 team who will get 1 point. Basically, how the point system works, unofficial, so the not exact, well, realistic points, like you're not getting it on the ranking, but to determine which drivers will be in Pool 1 and which drivers will be in Pool 2. P1 gets 1 point, P2 gets 2 points, P3 gets 3 points, P4 gets 4 points, and all that kind of stuff. The more points you have, the more at the bottom you will be. Your team's drivers' points will be combined, and the bottom 5 teams who have the most amount of points will be in Pool 2 tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow we will have a short qualifying and 35% race, where 4 other drivers from the leagues that will be participating are going to be racing against each other. And, you know, in Pool 1, you're going to be crowned King of Leagues. And then, of course, the winner of Pool 2 is going to be called Queen of League. So that is a little bit of a thing I just made up, you know. The winner also gets a £10 PayPal donation for the league to support the league and help them wherever they need. And then, of course, the winner of Pool 2 gets a £5 donation. So it's not much. I didn't find.
I thought
the
they heard they
time.
were receiving like a special, you know, Google Drive link to some photos that you made, but you know, that's what I heard from the grapevine anyway.
Ooh, that could be arranged. If PGR
is that who
gets,
comes last?
Yeah, sure. I can get them some pictures from my toes. You know, I think they will be very happy of that. Now we are running out of time. The qualifying is almost over. We've got 2 drivers at the bottom.
38 seconds left.
Being Sean and Hardcore. Sean is on a fast lap right now. I feel like he's not going to push. He's going for another one. This was probably an out lap. He's got that, I was going to say Ferrari car. That red car of the Racing League Esports right ahead of him. As he's going for a fast lap right now. There he goes. DRS wide open. And we might want to focus on someone else too. Are you going to focus on
Got
Spec Boys?
Hassan in the drop zone. I'll keep on Hassan here. He's in the drop zone, but he just needs to improve by 2 or 3 tenths to secure himself easily here. He was 600ths up in the first sector. He's 3 tenths up in the middle. This is good. He's on for P10 here so far. Depends how committed he wants to be. Just keep it in the white lines, Hassan, and you are absolutely fine, mate. Come on. Let's have a look down in 6th gear. He's using all the road. This has been a decent lap so far. He will run out of ERS on back straight, though. As again, this is what the Qatar is unfortunate for, but DRS wide open here. It hopefully should be enough for the top 10 to keep him in. We've also got Spec on his lap as well. Let's have a look. Goes to P12. Good lap. That keeps him just about in. Spec is half a second up, though, which is good. He did mention to me that the lap he was on board with was 4-lap-old soft tyres, so... he's hoping for a decent bit. Half a second here would get him a 22.1, which would not be enough. So he needs to be really good, a lot faster than that. Let's have a look what he does here. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 21.9. Just he's out. Spec is out of Q1 here, but Hassan stays in. Sean's about to finish his lap as well. Let's have a look, see what he sets. Don't think Sean will be getting out of Q1 either. So it looks like everybody is now safe. So Oliver Whittleson did retire, but only just kept himself in there.
Yeah, there's 3 thousandths between Jensen and Oliver.
Second. Yeah, that was quite close. So the 5 people that are Jensen, Specmel, P0, Sean, and Hardcore. So it looks like the blue team are out. I don't know what the name of the blue team is.
That is going to be Formula 1 Racing League. They're a league I commentate on.
Out.
Yep.
So it looks like actually we've got P0 and Nicholas, look like in the different sides of the grid here. Looking at sort of consistency between leagues, best consistency is actually looks like the pink guys are. There's nothing separating them really, only a tenth and a half in their lap times. We've got Snipes and Blade 4/10 separating each other. We've got 5/10 second between the guys in orange ERT.
Yep, that is Harry.
Let's have a look
and,
at the quick chat.
Timo.
Bramble says I wasted a soft tyre. Oh, Bramble, I don't know if you're in or not, but we'll.
Yeah, he
we'll
is. He is in P13.
Bramble is in
so
wasted a soft tyre. So
interesting. Yeah, I mean, if he was going on to the mediums, I don't know if he would have been able to get into the top 15 though, because he's only 1/10 away from the drop zone. So he might have had 2 softs used in Q1, which is an interesting fact. You know, you saw Speckbell using 4-lap-old softs, and he didn't make it. So it might have been best for him to use a second set of softs.
it was a fresh set on his last lap. It was a fresh set before, so yeah, he wasn't able to improve by enough, which is a shame. But again, so we've got Jensen, Spec, P0, Sean, and Hardcore coming out at the end of Q1, so they will drop out now.
So one thing is for sure already. We've got the Formula One Racing League being in Pool 2 tomorrow, so they know their start time already. For all the other guys on the track right now, it's still unknown whether they're going to be in Pool 1 or Pool 2. But also one thing that's known for Formula One Racing League is that they're going to get 1 point on the ranking already. So it's going to be one team with the most points already. There we go. But of course, it's not going to last too long, as of course we've got 9 other leagues who are going to score more points, of course. So well done. Thank you for participating in Formula One Racing League, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
6:30 tomorrow for your race, guys. Get a last bit of practice in, and just bear in mind you can corner cut twice without a penalty. Personally, I'd suggest just straight line the second sector. Let's have a look. It looks like Nicholas has gone out straight away on I don't know if it's a fresh set or a worn set of socks, but he's straight out. Sesko has left the session. He is in the lobby, so he might have disconnected there by accident. Hopefully he'll rejoin back in. A few guys have actually come out straight away. I'm wondering if people are going to do 2 or 3 runs here again, just to try and get through. Obviously, the drivers have not got to worry about tyre wear, as they will not be racing on these tyres. So it'd be good to see what people's approach is to this big qualifying session here. I mean, normally I think you get 4 sets of tyres for Q1 and Q2, and then a fresh set of softs for qualifying 3. So it just depends really on what sort of tyres people have been running so far, but I'm expecting they'll all use at least 1 fresh set in this one here, but some of the faster guys might do that out lap on a 1 or 2 lap old set of tyres. But yeah, so we've got 15 guys remaining now into this. ADHD Burger commentating, by the way, just changed my user. He's still Burger Boy. Hello, Burger Boy.
Yeah. He's someone who joined through my open lobby stream, so it's something new. It's something new. Yeah, I'm trying to do some open lobbies every now and then. Try to stream it. Got a couple of good followers from there, so yeah, I mean,
that'd be nice.
It's going pretty good. Yesterday I reached 400 followers. I think I'm already at 410 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, thank you. I think I'm at 410 right now. 411 actually, after we've got 44 viewers.
Very good. If anybody wants to get any sponsorships in now, pay me first, and I will say it out. Let's go on board here with Oliver. He's just starting his lap here. Let's get the telemetry up on my screen, at least. I know you guys can't see mine, but I don't really care about that. Down now, Lucky Sescoman's rejoined a bit deep into turn 1. Bit of understeer on the car, to be fair, but gets it hooked up nicely through turn 2. Flat out there, just on the white lines here. Look, he's been doing in practice. He's running that car all the way on the curb, and he's using every inch of tarmac he's got, plus a bit more, but that's quite wide. But somehow keeps it in by lifting off over the track. 27.0 in the first. Oh, he hasn't actually invalidated. He has him.
Yep.
So it looks like he will have to retry. I don't know why he's carrying on, though. Nicholas, though, is purple first sector. He's obviously P2, but not the second guy on the grid, though. But he'll be quite competitive in this sector here as well. Look at that, he's just running a lot of understeer. I'm noticing for some of these guys. I'm wondering if they're quite running low setups, which is quite interesting for a qualifying session. Normally, you want to run higher wings in quali and low wing in the race. I'm expecting some people's setups here will be sort of 50 front wing, quite high. There's a lot of the time gained in qualifying is through these fast corners, and the cars need to be flat out through here. He just about keeps the white line, does Nicholas. Down to 6th gear, 150 mile an hour apex speed coming into the final corner now. He's got somebody in front of him, but I don't think he'll get in his way. DRS coming open now. It looks like he will run out of ERS sort of 2 or 3 seconds for the line, but it will be. It's a 121 for Timo, and it's a 121.3 for Nicholas. So there it is, 1-0 to RLE.
Coming around the last corner.
Comes in.
Blade is going to come around the last corner. Down to mace rate right now, and is going to be a 121.0.
Blade, really quick start so far. That's a guy. Looks like Blade is really carrying the flames there for the black team. I'm not going to remember any names. It's not my job.
No, it's Ground Effect Racing League. They're quite a big league, actually.
Yeah.
I think they've got about 700 members in their Discord.
That's fantastic.
They're quite a big league, to be honest, with a good management team. We've got Derek driving tomorrow, which is going to be one of the Kona owners, but they definitely put some fast drivers in the race today.
Yeah, look at this speaker Ground Effect. We've got Snips has absolutely flown through the final corner. He's really committed here. Is he going to beat his teammate? No, he's not. 21-2 though, so it is a 1-2 for Ground Effect. They have sucked their way to 1 and 2 on the provisional P1, P2 in qualifying 2 so far. So we've got one more driver on a lap. It's Runnard. He's looking probably here for a sort of a mid-21. Let's see how it does. There is a pink car in front, but he will get maybe a little draft, which will be actually quite good for Runnard here. He has no ERS left, so we'll be enjoying the suck, as it is sometimes known. Has he validated his lap?
Yeah,
no. I didn't realise that. Set 21, so it's a good reference point, though. 21.6, so at the moment that will get him in to the next session. I don't know why he's carrying on, though. He should probably lift off because he hasn't got any battery left, unless he's going to try and do a banker lap with no battery left on his car. He's lifted off. He's given up on that one.
Now driving on board with Unlucky Sesko, as he's going to be representing Syndicate Racing. It seems like he's not backing out. He's got the fastest first sector on the timetable.
26.6.
That is going to be a great lap from Unlucky Sesko, as he's now coming around sector 2, which you need a lot of traction through that corner, through that section, because I feel like, as Stiggy mentioned before, high wings can definitely give you a lot of speed through the corners. If you run low wings, you're just going to have a lot of understeer, and you're not going to be able to steer and go full throttle through every corner. Of course, now trying to touch a lot of curbs on the exit there, as he does that beautifully, inches away from invalidating. But of course, that's where what you have to master during TT and qualifying practice sessions. Now coming around to turn 16, as that is going to be inches away from invalidating, as I said already.
No ERS
before.
though.
He's got no ERS left, but that is going to be a 121.1 to put a P2 for Syndicate.
He'd have got pole if he'd managed DRS through some of the sectors here, which is an option. You are able to manually disable your hot lap mode whilst you're driving around the track. If he'd sort of saved it for some of the middle sector, he would have easily got pole there. He could have been knocking on a 20.9 as well, but he will be happy with that. That should absolutely get him into Q3. Same for Kroon. I think top 5, top 6 are probably safe here. Sort of judging by the other people's time, I think the cut-off probably will be a 21.4, 21.5. But yeah, absolutely brilliant lap by Sesko, to be fair. I'll be happy with that one. Don't know if anybody else is actually properly on a lap at the moment. Doesn't look like it. People are dialing in, warming up for their next run. Hardcore's left the session. I think he's a spectator anyway, so I don't think it'll matter too much. Andy says, come on the PGR. Absolutely. I will not come on them, though. I will not come on the PGR, but I appreciate the option, Andy. See anybody started a lap? Looks like Ammer's just about started his lap here, down to turn 150 metre board, chucking it in 105 mile an hour through the apex. He's quite committed to the first couple of corners here, 5th gear. He's running some traction control. You can sort of hear it in the car as the throttle blips by itself on the ace at some of these corners. This should be a downshift to 6th or 5th. See how he runs through this corner. Exit should be flat out, bit of a lift. There might not be running as much wings as needed. 26.9 in the first sector though, so it's not bad. Definitely using the traction control, just keeping that car tramlining out of the exit of that corner. But it will push him wide. It's the one problem with traction, is that it will push the cars wide on exit. You still have to be careful. See how he attacks this left-hander here. He runs a bit too wide, but just keeps it tidy. Should be a 53 or a 54 middle, 54.4, so he's probably running sort of half a second down on some of the guys around him, well, some of the guys in the top of qualifying 2 here. Yeah, with a downshift and a lift there, it should be a flat-out corner, no matter what session you're in for qualifying. So I'm expecting a 21.5 to a 7, I think, judging on the pace we've seen so far. Depends on a decent exit, but has no overtake or DRS wide open, though. It's got nothing left in the tank. It's going to be a 22.1, so it's quite a poor exit onto the back straight. He is currently slowest driver of the runners thus far.
Trying to explain something, a question in the chat. How are the points given out in qualifying? As in, how are the teams ranked? So, it is every driver's gets the amount of points that their position is the amount of points they get. So, for example, in this case, it would be Blade and Snipes. In your case, Derek, it would be Blades and Snipes getting 1 and 3 points. So that would be 4 points in total. Of course, looking at the standings right now, that would be P1, because you need the least amount of points to be able to be P1 in the qualifying. Then the team, which is going to be P2, is probably going to be Sesko and Krunex, who are currently having a total points of 6. Then right behind will be overtaking Racing League, as we've got Harry now taking the pole by, with a 120.9, so that is a great lap from the Speed Force Racing League. So that is how it works. And then, of course, the ranking your team will be in will also be given points, because for the ranking, like for the actual events ranking, not the qualifying ranking, of course. But I do have to say, looking at Aeon All or Nothing Racing League, they were promising me that they were going to get a top 5 easily. Now look at where they are. We've got AM in P12 right now with a 122.1. We've got Runnerd still in the pit lane with only 4 more minutes to come. So I really wonder what he's going to be able to do here. If he's going to carry that Aeon...
20.7.
If he's going to carry Aeon to the lobby, as it seems like the Aeon...
20.6.
They're getting faster, bro. They're getting faster.
This is some serious pace. This is from a lot of these guys. Yeah, I mean, we've got 3 people now in the 1 minute 22, so it's not impossible. Q3 will be mid to low 20s here. The track is rubbing in quite nicely though now. Sort of see, so the drop zone, it still sort of looks like a 0.4, I think, or still. Don't know if it'll keep you safe, but it'll probably keep you sort of P10, P11 maybe. But judging by some of the pace that these guys have pulled out the bag so far, this is going to be a tight run to try and get into Q3. 3 minutes 30 left on the clock so far. But yeah, some of these guys are really quick. These are, so I'm quite concerned here, because, you know, if these are the qualifying guys, have they got faster guys in reserve for the race, or are they hoping that the sort of qualifying times that these guys will get will keep them safe and secure and sort of allow them to do quite well in the race in clean air? Another thing to bear in mind as well, obviously, that we are running in Parc Fermé conditions. With this solely being a qualifying session for these guys, they are free to essentially run time ups for this. There will be no need to compromise on wings or tyre pressures or anything, because there is no race after this. So, for example, they might bring the rear wing up even further just to add a bit more commitment and balance to the car, whilst the race setup may, you know, drop the front wing to try and get a little bit more straight line speed. But there's no need for that at the moment. It actually looks like a couple of the pink guys, one of them's going to get a tow, I think, here, unless they're both backing each other up, ready for a start. Looks like they are. So Kroon, what's going on here? Looks like the pink. So look, he's going to put his foot down here, and Kroon is going to give him a tow, but they've timed it quite badly, admittedly. Don't know. Actually, the ERS is giving the quick hands a Kroon, should hopefully dive right here and yields out the way. 202 miles an hour, a lot of straight line speed gain there, so that'll easily be maybe a tenth of a second down that straight alone. Nice and committed into turn 2 and 3, using a lot of curb. Fantastic line here from Sesko. This has been a brilliant start to this lap. See how he does here into the fast double right. Fifth gear should be flat out here. A little bit of a lift again, so he's still not committed enough. 26.4, so it is a purple first sector. That toe will be helpful there, so well done to Kroon. Props to you for the team play. Coming now down into the medium speed right-hander there. Keeps it quite tight, lets the car run out wide, but good line. Flat out through the fast right kink, now down to probably 80 miles an hour. Coming on the medium speed left, he just keeps it, just about keeps it in the white lines. See what his middle sector split's going to be. It's a 53.5, so he isn't purple, but it is still a very good middle sector here as Pinchot retires. He's flat out now for Sesko yet. See what it is here, maybe down to 6th gear for this corner. Yep, nice balance, just about keeps in the white lines again. These guys have been practicing quite nicely now. 50 metre board, 4th gear. Flat out exit, letting the car run wide. DRS wide open again. This is a decent lap. Is it going to be enough for pole? It could be close. Let's have a look. That slipstream will have helped him. He's 0.04 seconds slower than Blade, but they've easily secured their way into Q3 with that lap. And a lot of guys have just started their laps now. Let's have a look. So Hassan, he's just only half a tenth up, coming out at the end of the first sector. Let's have a look what he's in the middle. Half a second up, so Hassan's on for a 21.3. This could be enough to get him into Q3. Let's have a look what he does here. He said he's got 3 sets of fresh sets of tyres for these 2 next sessions. Have a look, nice and committed into the fast left kink. We're now down into the final corner. Let's see how committed he is. Nice use of the entry and exit curb. He'll be happy with that lap. DRS wide open here. He just about runs out of ERS, but it could be a 21.3, 21.2. Is it enough? 21.2 P6 for Hassan. Well done, mate.
Push. What a
fantastic
push, bro.
Is that enough? Only a tenth and a half now, separating P6 to P10. Let's have a look here. Who's a threat at the moment? I think Palmer might be out. Palmer is out, but he can't improve on his lap anyway.
Runner's coming around the last corner right now, and it's going to be a 120.6.
Awesome lap. So Runner there, keeping up his promise of a top 5. He's pulled that one out of nowhere. AM, I think Bramble is out. AM is improving 3 tenths up. Nicholas Seller,
a 120.5.
What a lap. So Hassan now, he's on the cusp here. Let's see what Am can do. He's half a second up in the first 2 sectors. Let's have a look on his exit. Runs a little bit wide, but he keeps it foot down. Let's have a look what he does here. Is it enough to kick anybody out of Q2? P13, he's out. Palmer's had enough as well. I think that is it. So you've got your 5 out there. Palmer with a 21.2, McCann 21.3, and the 21.5. 22.0 for Oliver, and Bramble is out without setting a lap time. But I mean, look at that top 6, even the top 7 for that matter. I mean, that is some serious pace for qualifying 2. 120.5 in qualifying 2 is unbelievable.
Yeah, looking at the results right now, I think that the yellow team, which is going to be Formula Regional Series, is going to get knocked out. We have got the Inside Line Racing League, who doesn't have a driver in Q3 anymore. Is there any other team? I think there's the red team, the black team, the dark blue. We've got the green team. We've got the pink team, and we've got the orange team. So that is going to be 6 teams. Do you think the guys are going to be able to put low 120s?
I'm expecting a couple of these guys will pull a 20.3, maybe a 0.2. I don't know if anybody's going to go for an ego lap here, maybe give their teammate a tow down the straight. We saw how helpful it was to Sesko. I'm going to check his first sector split between his 2 laps, though. So Sesko's, he goes a tenth and a half faster in that first sector than his previous best, which is quite a big leap considering that. You know, normally at best you maybe gain a tenth. We're quite lucky. Sesko has left the session again though, but that's quite a close grid to be fair. A second separating separating 13 drivers. It's a very competitive grid for those for that top 13. So props to The Q2 runners, Palmer, Mancan, Am, and the two guys in white. Well done to you all, and obviously, keep supporting your teammates if they are in qualifying 3. Keep watching those guys because they're going to carry your team into hopefully into the bracket. But this is what's going to matter here. Which teams are going to be in the second tier or the top tier? 10 drivers have got 12 minutes to prove who is the fastest here. Have you got any predictions for who's going to be pole?
I do. I know Nicholas really, really well. Really well. He's a German driver. He used to be a driver in a league I was streaming for. He's got the pace. I know he can run 120.3, maybe 120.2. He's got an infection in his eye, so he's not at his top level yet. But seeing him putting a top 1 position, a P1 position in Q2, I think Niklas is going to put himself in P1. Then maybe one of the Syndicate drivers and one of the Ground Effect Racing League drivers. But it's all to play for here. It's all to play for. I feel like both Syndicate, Speed Force Racing, and Ground Effect can already be assured that they're going to be in the top 5 pool. Well, the P1 pool, the pool 1. Mainly because they've got... because they already have 2 drivers still in the top 10. So that is going to give big points. I mean, not big points. I mean, you get what I mean, right? Then it's all going to be depending on where Runnert is going to finish, where Pincho is going to finish, where Hassan is going to finish. And I think those guys will be battling for that that top 5, those 2 or 3 top 5 spots. Looking at a question from the guys in the chat. Josh, he's not allowed to leave. And then we've got Aeon Racing League, who has asked me a question. What happens now if one of our drivers is out of Q2? So, if I'm not mistaken, it's AM who is out of the qualifying. I think he got about P12 or something like that. He will get 12 points. If Runner puts himself in the top 3, let's say he puts himself in P3, he will get 3 points. Those points will be combined with each other. They're going to get, that would be in total 15 points, of course. Then we're going to do the same for every other league. So, for example, Snipes and Blades, who are going to get a combined points of 6, for example. We're going to put every team in a ranking. And then the top 5 goes to Pool 1. And the bottom 5 will go to Pool 2. Now, having a quick look if there's any other chat. I'm about to get raked up. Seems sticky. Not really. Doesn't seem like anyone else does have a question. So, you've asked my prediction. Who do you think is going to get the qualifying pole here in
Nicholas
Qatar?
has just invalidated on his first run. Was decent lap up to that point so far. I mean, I've got to put it on really, I think, on the likes of Blade, Snipes. I mean, those guys look absolutely ready. I mean, but Harry Kane has... so Nicholas going to box and just come out and put it back in again. But no, Harry Kane obviously I think was original pole in Q2, so he's pulled that out of the bag. It's going to be close for sure. I don't really think the top 3 will be separated by 0.2 of a second, maybe 2.5 if it's a one of them makes a mistake. But as in Timo straight away in the 20.9s. But realistically, Timo, Snipe is 20.7. They need to be aiming really for 3-4 faster. In order for it to be a pole time, to be fair. Obviously, there's chances are some of these drop 20.4 straight away for Blade. Hassan has just invalidated. Oh, Hassan, on board with you, bro. So, yeah, Blade 20.4. Yeah, that's going to be decent for pole. I expect there'll be a little bit of room for Blade to improve. But it's not impossible. Some of these guys who know they're already safe, like, for example, the black team here, they might sacrifice one of their drivers to get a tow for the other, just try and secure pole. As it will benefit having a clear run into turn 1 for tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be quite good. Anybody else on a lap? Let's have a look. So Harry, he's obviously purple first sector here. He said he got Wall of Champions on his T-cam on the top of his halo there. Sort of depends, Harry, how fast you're going to be. Are you going to be the champion tomorrow? Let's have a look. Good exit, though, coming out the fast left kink. What's going to be his middle sector split? Anybody in his way? No. It is a 53.3. It's not purple, but it's still a very competitive middle sector. Is it flat out for all these right-handers? Yes, it is. Yep, so Q3 absolutely rubbered in now. The drivers have got every single ounce of grip they need. Great line from Harry. There's a little bit of improvement there, I think, if he runs slightly wider. Down into fourth gear, nice exit. As Perezzo Soft has left the session, as people were told not to. Hopefully that was a standard disconnect. Is it going to be a 20? It's a 20.6. So he's got to find 2.5 tenths. He won't be upset with that lap, but it will give him a bit of a kick up the arse, just try and find that extra time. Maybe there was a small lockup or a mistake we didn't see from Harry, but a very competitive lap so far. The top 5, you know, this has been the sort of the top 5 runners of each session have not been separated by much at all. This has been a very competitive start to this King of Leagues weekend so far. Let's have a look. Looks like Kroon and Sesko. Kroon is just finishing his lap now. Let's see what he posts on the board. It's a 20.4 purple final sector as well. So he'll be happy with that. There absolutely is a chance of pole there for Kroon. What's Sesko doing? Sesko does run wide. He's invalidated as well, so I don't know why he's carrying on. He's running wide again. I think these drivers are just running slightly too wide, maybe, considering this banker lap. So bit odd that some runners are, you know, completely trying to drive 110% already, but we'll see. I think Sesko is going to try and do a lap with no ERS just to get a banker in and get a bit of reference on how these tyres are feeling. 5.5 minutes left on the clock.
Looking at Nicolas Zeller right now. MP8 hasn't set a lap yet, but he is on a fast lap right now. He needs to watch out for that syndicate car down the inside right there in turn 5. Now coming through turn 6, which is going to be a 90 degrees corner, quite a fast one. Take a lot of curb on the exit, and then of course take a lot of curb on the entry in turn 7 right there. A lot of exit on the exit of turn 7, and then he can go through sector 2 pretty fast. We saw him put a 120.6 earlier, and I wonder if he's going to be able to put that here too. Or did he put a 120.4? I can't quite remember. But now coming around this a little bit of a straight. I would call it a straight. It's a very small one. We do have a couple of corners, but they're really small. Now, as Stiggy mentioned already, going full throttle through these corners, and hopefully he's not going to get disconnect, because we saw him getting disconnect quite early in the lobby when we made the lobby already. And now coming around the last corner, turn 16. If he takes a lot of curb on the entry and the exit, he's going to get a good lap, inches away from invalidating once again. But that is something to master here. It's going to be a 120.6 to put himself in P3. Will that be enough for Racing League Esports to put themselves in the top 5, of course?
Purple middle and purple final there for Niklas, I think. So he's clearly got some time to make in that first sector. But again, I don't think he'll be upset with that time. He's sort of, you know, he's able to sniff the gearboxes of the cars in front. I just want to point out there was a question from All or Nothing. The point of quality in tomorrow's race. Well, sorry, what's the point of qualifying in today's session? So for those who haven't got chat in front of them, as OS Agrees said, the point of qualifying today is to determine which teams will be in what pool. Obviously, then there'll be a short qualifying tomorrow to determine the grid for the 35% race. So everything you see today will not be the grid for the race tomorrow. It'll be to work out what pool each team is in. So let's have a look. Is Timo on a lap? Timo is on a lap. Absolutely, he is flying through second to last corner. Oh, he does actually pit, so he wasn't on a lap. Practicing, maybe get a last bit of practice in before his final gung-ho session. See if he gets the entry line nicely. No, he's speeding in the pit lane right there. That's easily a 5-second penalty, Tom. Come on. He's got to have it's got to be a 5-place penalty surely for that.
I think the guys are able to do it once, because I put pit entry.
They're able to do it. Yep. Looks like, to be fair, Hassan is already out. I don't know if it's slightly early for him. I mean, he did invalidate his first. Hopefully, he'll be able to get a decent time on the board. I think Hassan is absolutely happy to be in the top 10, though. He did a fantastic job you know, to get himself into this top 10 with some of these fast guys. So props to you, Hassan. Great work, mate. But he is first out onto his lap. Just hopefully he doesn't get caught up in any traffic. It's not impossible that he will, though, which will be a little bit of a shame. But I'm getting a decent lap in Q2 to get into Q3 here. So this is it then. I think everyone's last laps gonna run. What? So who's your bet on then? One person, Tom. Who's your bet?
One person? Man, this is difficult. I think the time is not going to get beaten. I think it's going to be...
Blade's going to retain pole with that lap and not improve?
Yep, I think so. I feel like everyone is a little bit... feeling too much pressure on their shoulders right now. It's probably not the first event they're having, but it's definitely an important one here in the qualifying. I mean, Blades, Crewnex, Niklas, Harry, Snipes, they all have to push for not really too much. They're already qualified for Pool 2. Of course, what does determine... Well, what you would get is another couple of extra points. Because Team 1, well, the combined team points, they're going to get P1. And they're going to get 10 points for the actual event ranking. P2 gets 9 points, P3 gets 8 points. So it would be a couple of points extra for you to battle, to bring in the race of tomorrow. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a surprise. The guys told me a 119 should be possible. That should be 5 more tenths. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I don't think half a second is reasonable considering it's the end of Q3. I've expected, to be fair, an improvement maybe into a high 2. I think a high 0.2 is on the cards here, just based on how committed the likes of Blade or Kroon want to be. They have just started their laps. Go on board with Blade. I think he deserves it. He's had the he is provisional pole, so I think he deserves the airtime on this. Decent. He's absolutely running all of the road as much as he can, fully committed into the first sector split here. Is it purple? Oh, it's not the first split yet, but you know, he's flat out keeping it in 5th gear, which is an interesting line. Let's have a look. So he's actually half a tenth down than his previous best, but that's still room to improve. Let's have a look how he behaves coming into the medium pink here. Keeping over 100 miles an hour, using the trail braking to keep the car rotated in. He's using all of the road and then some more. Keeps in the white line zone, nice and committed. See how he does this? He's actually got a bit of oversteer into entry here. Kroon has had enough. He has improved a little bit, but still not enough to get pole. So Blade hasn't improved either. He's actually lost a little bit more time. So unless he can absolutely nail this final sector here, he will not improve on his previous best. How committed does he want to be? Awesome use of the road there. Was probably a little bit more room available in final now. Throws it in 5th gear and exit, lets the car run wide. He's got enough overtake here. He might actually have enough to keep it flat out all the way to the line without DRS conking out. He's nailed that to perfection. He's at the same time. Point plus. Is it the same time as his previous one?
It was a...
You said it was 0.001 second of slower.
Yes, it was. So 1/1000th of a second slower.
Wow.
Which is perfection. It's perfection. It's
Nicholas
just nailing the same lap you... that's...
Nicholas up. He's on for a point. It could be a 0.4. Runnard gets P4. Nicholas probably improve on his lap.
He had a 1.4. Yeah, he had a 0.4. So that is going to be P4 for Niklas. And that is going to be your qualifying over, guys. I'm going to run through the results real quick. Do some quick maths to see what teams are in which pools. But of course, that will be posted in the Discord server. If you haven't joined the Discord server yet, please do so. We have got a Discord server where everything is getting announced. It's getting posted, and we're all a happy community there in the VP Thomas community Discord. But let's go into the top 10 of this Q3. Blades in P1, Crewnex in P2, and Snipes in P3. The poll of today is going to be a 120.4. So congratulations to Blades and a Grind Effect Racing for getting a good amount of points. They have scored a total points of 4. Where we've got Nicholas, Runnard, Sesko, Harry, Timo, Pincho, and Hassan all the way in P10. Guys, let me do the calculations real quick, and then we will be ready to finish off the stream. Everyone can leave right now, though.
Yeah, everyone is free to leave. So obviously, well done to all of the drivers involved in the qualifying session. Obviously, if you want to stay for a 57 lap race, you can if you want to, but don't get any points for it. But yeah, so well done to all 20 drivers who have represented their leagues today. Obviously, you said Tom will go away and get the list of which drivers will be in what pool for the racing tomorrow. But yeah, obviously well done to our Pulsar today. 120.4 is a fantastic amount of speed. That's TT time, that is. So yeah, awesome work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick calculation. I think there pool 1, which is gonna be the best pool, is gonna be filled with Ground Effect Racing drivers, Syndicate Racing League drivers. We've got Speed Force Racing League drivers. I think Racing League Esports is gonna be there too. And then it will be a big battle for the top 5 spot. Well, for P5 spot. I'm not too sure. I feel like Power Grid Racing's second driver was a little bit too far back. It was Milan, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was P17, I think, in the end. So I'm not sure if he'd make it in with that one. I think obviously, like I said, it was a good result considering people's pace. But I don't know if Power Grid have made it through. But a valiant effort from the team, regardless of what pool we are in tomorrow.
And then we've got Overtake Racing League, who had a driver in P7, if I'm not mistaken. We had a driver who was in somewhere in Q2. We had the Formula Racing League, Formula Regional Series, who are going to be in Pool 2. And there was another team, though, which was there. Oh, yeah, Aeon. I think they're going to be the ones for the top 5. They had a driver in P8, if I'm not mistaken, and a driver in P12. So that is going to be probably Aeon, but we will be posting that in the Discord. Guys, make sure to report everything in the Discord. There will be an option to report everything, and the stewards will be looking at that and giving out qualifying bans to teams. There is going to be one driver of the team who is going to get a qualifying ban, and that is still to be decided who that is going to be. So, guys, I thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, Stiggy, for being here.
It's all right. It's been a pleasure.
What are you
in the comms box again?
What are your expectations for tomorrow for Power Grid? Well, now
myself and Jack. I think obviously I expect we're going to be in Pool 2. To be fair, obviously it would be nice to be fighting with the top guys, but we've got to represent the league as best we can. I'm obviously hoping that we can guarantee at least a podium for one of us, but obviously we've got to go for the win. I don't think it's impossible that myself and Jack, Ryan, I think as well, could have put it on pole today. Especially with a bit of teamwork, maybe a bit of slipstream here and there, we would have been close. So yeah, it's going to be close. I'm looking forward to it regardless. First 35% are done. Obviously, it'll be all about the qualifying session tomorrow as well to see where we start. But yeah, I'm hoping that my race pace will shine through tomorrow.
Amazing. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Thank you very much for being here too. We're going to be finishing off the stream. Tomorrow we will be there again at 6:30 UK time. And we will be seeing you there for Pool 2. Afterwards at 8 p.m. we will be having Pool 1. There it's going to be the one team that is going to be crowned King of Leagues. Guys, thank you very much. Sticky, thank you very much. And we will be seeing you guys next week. Next weekend. Tomorrow. Peace out.
Tomorrow.